In the Bible, in John chapter 6, there is the account of the feeding of the multitude. There is a scene where thousands of people have been gathered to hear Jesus talk. The day is coming to a close. The question comes to the disciples, how are we going to feed these people? It's interesting to see the difference in the disciples and how they each responded to that question. First, we have Philip, who comes to Jesus, and he's purely based on his response. It appears that he's only looking at the situation financially. And he says, 200 pennyworth wouldn't be enough to feed all these people. So even if we had the funds, I mean, it's insurmountable, the sense of lack here. There's nothing we can do. We don't have enough money. The second response is an improvement. It's Andrew. Andrew comes along and he recognizes present good. He sees perhaps this little lunch that a mom has packed for her son. But even Andrew comes up short and he says, but what are these for so many people? There's so many people to feed. This little bit of good can't possibly sustain all of them. But he did do the thing that was the most important, which is he brought that question to Jesus. And the Christ is able to show how. It's the right idea of what those loaves and fishes represented that feeds us. It's so common to the human mind to think that giving has to impoverish the giver. You know, there's this, if you look at the idea of benevolence from a limited viewpoint, you have a limited bank account over here, which is taking good out of it in order to help an even smaller, even more limited bank account over here get a little bit bigger. But that act of giving from one bank account to another naturally causes this account to decrease and this account to increase. The problem with that model is it's based on matter. It's based on a limited idea of good. Let's look at how many baskets, or what was the amount of loaves and fishes at the beginning of that account, and then what was the result, or what was the amount at the end. Humanly, there was a handful of loaves and fishes, enough for a boy to carry. Thousands of people are fed. And then when the disciples are instructed to pick up the fragments, they come back with 12 baskets full of fragments. The human mind says to, an organization like the Principal Foundation or a Christian Science nursing facility, the more good you do, the less good you have. But the demonstration of the loaves and fishes proves the opposite occurs. The more good you do, the more that good is multiplied by the Christ. The more that good sustains the right idea of nursing, of benevolence, of Christianity, the more it overcomes the belief of penalty, financial penalty, or any other type of penalty for doing good.